Hi, my name's Sam,
Hi, I'm Hayden.
and we're going to be talking about the topic of reproduction.
It's important to know how to prepare for kidding, but it's also important to know when it's going to happen and some of the important signs to know to be able to tell you in. So some important signs are they're leaning on fences or trees or anything they can lean against. They usually lean against their left side, which is where the baby sits. Another sign is digging. Wherever you usually house them, they'll just dig. Also, another thing is if you don't want to send in blood work to know if your doe is pregnant, just wait 3 months and an udder should have formed in some way. And the tighter it gets throughout time, the closer it is to kidding. Another sign that's really important and the most able to detect is there's a ligament right here in their tail. And see, this doe is not pregnant, so I'm not able to put my fingers together. But as they get closer to kidding, this ligament thins out, and you are able to put your fingers through. Another sign is them being very vocal. Like if your doe is usually not very vocal, or even if it is, you just notice that they're doing it more loud or quite frequently. They're like saying, hey, it's almost time. It's pretty much. So the last sign is mucus. They'll have mucus coming out of their back end, like either a day before or even just hours before. This even happens after kidding. The placenta comes out, but even days after, it's still coming out and cleaning out.
Did you know that by day 20, the heart of the baby goat is already beating? By day 100, the tooth buds are already erupting. And by day 115, the kid is already covered in fur. Alright. The first 30 days are super essential because there's such a massive amount of cell division going on at this time. During this time, the mother should not be given any drugs because it can cause a mutation in the kid. During pregnancy, you should make sure that your doe is in a stress-free environment because any stress can cause her to reabsorb the fetus. The mother should always have access to free choice of minerals, and it is recommended that there is about 15% protein in it. Another step in preparation should be to give the mother vitamin E and selenium shots because they boost the CDI as well as BOSE or both. BOSE or both is super essential to the kids because it helps their muscles work together and not let them be limp. A quick demonstration of how to give these shots would be to gently pinch and lift up the skin, making a sort of tent, and then inserting it right into the skin. Supplies you will need to milk your goat include wipes, a sterile bucket, a milking stand, and a goat and milk. Alright, so to start off for milking, you'll pinch off and squeeze, and then you'll go like this. You don't want to pull, and you want to do the first few squirts into the ground or just off to the side. This is to make sure that you can get all the residue out. You do the first couple squirts from each teat. This isn't going very good, but I just can't. There we go. Oh, yeah. By going like this, it simulates the kid hitting the udder with their head, trying to get more milk to come down.
Case of emergency, you have a pregnant doe, something goes wrong, you don't know something could happen, you're not sure, you just want to be prepared. You always want to have a kidding kit in hand. Either if it's your doe that's pregnant or you want to be breeding later on, you always want to have this. So the first thing is a towel. You can lay it on the ground while she's kidding, or you could use it to wipe off the babies if she's not doing her job right, or you could wipe off the mom. Just multiple uses. Another thing is a thermometer. But with thermometer, you either use Vaseline or some type of water-based lubricant. You use a thermometer, you can use it for many cases. I mean, if you think something's wrong with your doe or the babies don't look good, you could always just use a thermometer to check the temperature. Another thing is gloves. Now, emergencies like this don't usually happen, but you never know. You just use some Vaseline and you can just go and help the mom. It's good. Another thing is molasses. You could use molasses or a Gatorade. You put it in their water, it just keeps them hydrated for the process. Another thing that's pretty important to the babies is iodine. Iodine is used for their umbilical cord. Either their mom eats it or it just falls off. But when they lay on the ground, it can get infected. So you pour this into the cup and you dip it in, and it basically seals it all off to make sure it doesn't get infected or anything like that. There's another thing, I don't exactly have it with me. It's called a nasal aspirator. You use it in their nose or in their mouth, wherever they're either like coughing or sneezing, and there's mucus back up, and you're just putting it down.
And that concludes our informational video for this year's State Fair.